I want to talk about a few things at a time when Britain is going through a very divisive and toxic time in its history. The so-called United Kingdom is actually incredibly disunited at the moment, with different communities turning on one another, neighbour against neighbour, based largely on what they look like, what their religion is, where they're from originally, what your political beliefs are. People are getting very polarised. The fact of the matter is that as someone who is true blue English, from working class stock and Anglo-Saxon through and through, more British than the British royal family in fact, I know what it's like. I've heard the arguments and I get the feeling and the sentiment that's coming out of the nationalist camp, the patriots corner, who are angry at mass immigration, at a so-called Islamic takeover and all these foreign cultures coming over here and seeming to get it much more easier and better here in England than true blue English British people who were born and bred here and have roots from a family tree deep in the English soil like myself that dates back generations and generations. But also I understand, as someone who converted to Islam in his teens, the views and opinions and concerns and fears of a minority community which has come here, settled, and has worked hard to build up and uplift this country and to make it better, but still gets treated as some kind of enemy or alien race. How did we get into this situation? What led us here to the point where we're at each other's throats like this? People in the establishment, the mainstream parties, our leaders, our politicians going back the last several years, the several decades, they've been taking us into wars which create the refugees which then flee here and then blame it as if, like, where are these refugees coming from? Or maybe it's the wars that has been started, which no one voted for, by the way. Iraq, Afghanistan, Libya, all these wars, they destroy countries, refugees come piling into Europe, and then what? We're supposed to expect, like, where did this come from? How did this happen? Why are they coming to Britain? As if like there's no correlation between going and destroying a country and then a bunch of refugees showing up on your shores. The fact is that there are people out there in power who have made terrible decisions that are destroying everything. We've got austerity, we've got a cost of living crisis, no one's fixing it, yet they're deflecting the blame by making you blame foreigners finding a scapegoat. But then there's also grifters, then there's also populists who are also trying to blame a scapegoat to feed off your hate, feed off your fear, and to feed into it for their own selfish benefit to get them where they want to be, which is in power, or with more money, or with your votes, or with more fame online. Watch out. It is not going to fix the problem by waging some kind of holy war on a minority that you don't like or a political group that has a different opinion to you.